Welcome back. We're continuing our 4th of July celebration by making cookie dough cinnamon rolls. I just thought that I would express that again. Cookie dough cinnamon rolls. As both cinnamon rolls and chocolate chip cookies originate in America, that totally counts. So this recipe looks super good. It's a little complicated. We are making everything from scratch, and there are quite a few steps. So we'll get through it. Don't be scared. The main thing, besides the collecting of everything that will take time, is that the dough needs to rest for 1.5 hours. Otherwise, it's not too bad. This recipe comes from Lynn at Fresh April Flowers, and I'm excited to get started. Okay, so the ingredients are separated by each element we're making. At least a lot of the ingredients are the same, so it's a little more cost effective. But as you can see, I started to run out of dishes, so there are a lot of elements. But we'll go through each one, and it's going to be delicious and totally worth it. Okay, so cookie dough filling is what we're starting with. So we've got 1 1/8 cup heat treated flour. We're going to discuss that in a little bit. We've got a teaspoon cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 6 tablespoons room temperature unsalted butter, 1/2 cup firmly packed brown sugar, light or dark, and 2 tablespoons granulated sugar, 2.5 tablespoons milk, 1 tablespoon vanilla extract, and the last one is 1/2 cup mini semi-sweet chocolate chips. Didn't know they came in such tiny little guys, but they do. Okay, so that's it for our cookie dough. Now we're going to do our dough, the rolling dough. So now we have 1/4 cup warm water, 1 1/8 teaspoon dry active yeast, or 1/2 of a packet. 1/4 cup warm milk. We've got 2.5 tablespoons granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 large egg, 2 1/4 to 2.5 cups all-purpose flour with a spoon level technique for all the flours. And we've got 3 tablespoons room temperature unsalted butter cut into a couple pieces. Okay, so now we're switching over to our cinnamon sugar filling, not to be confused with our cookie dough. Cinnamon sugar filling, we've got a 1/4 cup granulated sugar. We've got a 1/4 cup firmly packed light brown sugar, 1 1/2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and we've got 2 tablespoons melted, and it will be unsalted butter. So that does it for the sugar filling. Okay, so now the cream cheese frosting is the last thing I promise. We've got 2 ounces full fat block cream cheese softened to room temperature. We've got 2 tablespoons of room temperature unsalted butter, 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. Super ran out of dishes, so we've got a teaspoon of vanilla back here, and then we'll do a pinch of salt. So that does it for our ingredients. Now we're going to switch on over to our tools, and then we'll get started. All right, so now we've got our tools. So we've got a small bowl, 2 medium bowls, and 2 large bowls, a stand mixer or good old muscles, a sifter, basting brush, spatula, wooden spoon, serrated knife, butter knife, whisk, rolling pin, thermometer, foil, and an 8 square or 9-inch round pie plate. Totally fine. And then you'll need plastic wrap if you let the cookie dough for longer than an hour in the fridge, which we're not going to do, so we don't need it. Okay, so those are our tools. And we're going to start with our cookie dough filling. Now, if you'd like, you can make this element up to 3 days ahead of time, so you can split it up a little bit. You can also double the recipe, and you'll end up with a 12 by 18 rectangle and 12 pieces instead of 6. So first, we're going to tackle heating our flour. So I'm going to reset the board, and we'll start with that. All right, here's a new technique for us to learn how to heat treat our flour. It looks like it's to kill any potential bacteria, so it's fun to discover something new. All right, so we will treat more flour than it calls for because some will clump from moisture, so about 2 tablespoons per cup extra. We can heat it in the oven or the microwave, so let's do the microwave. So heat the flour in a microwave-safe container for 30-second increments. Stir each time until it's a uniform 165 degrees Fahrenheit, which is why we have a thermometer. Be careful not to overheat too much. We don't want to burn it. So that's a thing. Also interesting to know that flour is flammable, which is off topic, but that sometimes the factories caught fire because it's pretty flammable when it's in the air. Anyway, so we'll do that, and then we're going to let it cool, and then we're going to sift it. So let's go ahead and get it heated up, and we'll heat treat our flour. All right, so now that it's a little cool, we're going to, and clumpy, we're going to unclump it by using our sifter, flour sifter, and we're going to put that in a small bowl along with our cornstarch and our salt. So we'll go ahead and get that started. What, Pup? Are you tired? Poor Pup. You look exhausted. He looks so grumpy when he's tired. I promise he's not that grumpy anymore. He's grumpy, but, you know, he's an older gentleman. Huh. But he's not nearly as grumpy as he looks, I promise. So, what you guys doing? What do you have going on? What's happening? What's the haps? What's going on in your life? Anything exciting? Hopefully. But it's okay if it's not. No, I used to, when I was younger, I would pick a thing that, it wasn't a big thing, but just something to look forward to, something in the future that I could look at and say, oh, that'll be fun. So even if it's a small thing, you can share it here. All right, almost have all of our flour in here anyway. It's looking good on the way out. And here's looking a little rough, but that's okay. Definitely smells floury, so to speak. Now, since we added more flour than we needed, for fear of it clumping too much, we'll have to make sure we have the proper amount. This is going to be hard to clean. I'm going to say that if you watch this ahead of making it, I'm going to say this is not necessary. I mean, if you want to do it, awesome. Oh, geez, sorry, Pup. But I really don't feel like it's necessary. But, you know, the recipe said it, so, you know, we're going to try it, and it's something we've never done before, so that's kind of exciting. But it's probably not necessary. Although, if you want to do this part, a lot of recipes talk about that. But if you want to follow along exactly as I do, go for it. All right. Well, we've got some crumbly wumblies on here. I'm just going to put that back and see if this is enough. Okay, so now let's get our other ingredients in here. And we're rock and rolling towards getting our dough ready. Okay. So now go ahead and give this a mix together. Should we be whisking it? Doesn't say. Oh, sure. If you want to whisk it, go for it. I'm just going to use a spoon. I think it's okay otherwise because we're going to be working through it. Okay, and then let's get our mixers out, and we're going to use, we're going to cream the butter and sugars. So we're going to add the milk and vanilla into it. So we'll be right back as I clean the thing off. All right, so we're going to add our room temperature butter. And our 2 sugars. So we're still on the cookie dough filling, the cookie dough. So those are the ingredients we're still working off of. The brown sugar and the sugar. So we're going to cream those together with our whisk attachment. And then we're going to move on to our vanilla and milk. So let's get started creaming away. Sail away, sail away. Okay. All right. Faster? A little faster. Right, horrible. Hi, Arthur. Leo's gonna flip that. He's gonna flip it. Oh, hold on. Get it off of the sides here. All right, making progress. Okay. It's about medium speed. Hi, Bub. We can't add this. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, it looks mixed to moi. All right, so now we're going to add our milk and vanilla, right? Just double checking, pretty sure. All right, so now we're going to add our milk and vanilla, which is almost the last ingredient for the cookie dough. And again, you can make this 3 days even ahead of time so you have the components ready. So that's nice. Okay, let's go ahead and mix that together. Scrape the sides. Boy, it looks real chunky, real curdly. It's not, but it does kind of look that way. All right. Okay, let's give that another whirl here. Okay. All right, so we're going to take our flour and we're just going to add it slowly as we mix it so that we don't create a, tornado situation. So we're going to blend this in. And then the last thing we have are the chocolate chips. So we're almost there for the cookie dough. So that's exciting. Okay, so let's get this mixed in and we'll be right back. All right, so let's go ahead and scrape our sides again. And we'll mix a little bit longer, but I think we are good to go. Okay, one more time for good measure. Good. All right, so now we're going to chuck in our chocolate chips, blend that up, and then we're just going to stick it in the fridge as per usual lately. And again, if you're going to leave this longer than about an hour, wrap it in plastic wrap, like if you do this ahead of time. I'm not going to do that, but go ahead and put it in the fridge as we make our dough. So I'm going to get this mixed and put it in the fridge, and then we're going to be back to make our dough. Okay, so I did not have this in my list, so I apologize ahead of time, but we're going to grease the pan. Although I probably should have assumed it. All right, so you can use butter, but this will just be a little easier. Okay, so we're going to grease that, and then we're going to move on to our yeast. We're going to make our yeast grow. All right, so we're going to take our large bowl and collect our warm water. And we've got the yeast, so you can measure it out, but it's about half a package. This. Very scientific. Sure. That seems good. A little more for extra measure. Okay. All right. So, oh, that smells bad. We're going to stir with our wooden spoon and then let it do its thing for 10 minutes. And then we're going to wait until it's nice and bubbly, and we're going to add a couple more of our ingredients. So I'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay, well, that didn't work. Ours didn't bubble. So we're going to try it again and measure it out specifically this time. Now, the packaging says to add a teaspoon of sugar to activate the yeast. It's not necessary, but it helps the yeast to grow. So we're going to try that, and then we're going to wait for 10 minutes, and then we'll be back. All right, so we've got a nice head on our yeast, so we should be good to go. So now we need to add our milk, sugar, salt, vanilla, and egg, and we're going to whisk it all together. And then we're going to add our flour mixture. So let's start to mix that all together. And milk. Oh, looks pretty gross. Okay. That's fine. A lot of things look gross before they're finished. Oh no. Oh, this is going well. It's just like a today thing, it feels like. Look at what is happening. Wow. Okay. Good thing I'm not going to give this to anybody like I had planned. It's pretty hard to tell. Oh. Okay, I found one. Probably why you should crack it into something else. Normally I don't have this problem. This egg decided to let it, and it stinks too. I know it's yeast, but like, oh. All right, well, hopefully that was it. Oh, just kidding. I guess I just need to get my thingies in here. Okay, feels like that's it. This is just what we had planned instead of whisking. It's just like get your fingers in there and see what you missed. Okay, hopefully that's fine. It's just me eating it anyway. Okay, salt. Oh yeah, that's sticking on there. That's fine. Okay. Still having fun though, right? Alright, so, and the sugar. Okay, yep, alright. But the important thing is we keep going. The yeast doesn't rise and all kinds of fun stuff today, but that's alright. That's alright. Okay. I don't know why it's sticking. It's so weird. It's not like it's humid in here. Alright. Okay, so that wasn't painful. Okay, so we're going to whisk this together and then we're going to add in our flour mixture. And that's going to be it for the flour, which is nice. So we're going to make that a really gross color and get this stinky sauce mixed together. Okay, all right, so the main thing is to just get that egg whisked in there. Okay. Gotta frame here for a second. Okay. All right, so that's a whisk. Okay, so time for a flour mixture. Add it gradually. Don't get crazy with it. If you're using a stand mixer, use the dough hook or use your wooden spoon if you want to get both. Add 1 cup of flour, then add the softened butter. This stuff. Until mostly incorporated, and mix the rest of the flour. The dough should pull away from the sides of the bowl pretty easily when ready. So I'm going to use my mixer, but that's behind me, and then we'll be back. All right, now that we've chucked our dough onto the floured surface, let's start our engines. Fire up those muscles. Need for about 8 to 10 minutes. We don't have to go to the gym today. All right, so we're looking for the surface texture of Play-Doh. Not that anyone would eat Play-Doh, right? Okay, so now and then after that, we let the dough rest for 10 minutes while we busy ourselves with our filling. So I will see you in 8 to 10 minutes. Alexa, resume music. All right, filling time. So grab a medium mixing bowl where we whisk our granulated sugar. Baby whisk, because I already put the big whisk in the dishwasher. Ooh. Hands are all slippery, Abby. Okay. Granulated sugar. We've got our brown sugar. And our cinnamon. All right, so go ahead and whisk that up. Okay. Whisk that up, and then we're going to set this to the side, and we're going to roll out our dough. Abby, what are you doing? Trying to commune with the cameraman. All right, so we'll go ahead and set that aside. Okay, and so we're going to need our rolling pin. and our dough, obviously. So I'm going to bring this back up here. Okay, rolling pin. All right, so we're going to need a bit more flour. Oh, so we don't want it to stick on our rolling pin. All right, so we're aiming for this to be about a 9 by 12, but be patient because the dough won't want to stretch. So we'll have to strong arm it a little bit. Like sometimes when we're being stubborn and we don't want to grow, kind of the same thing. So we'll see. When I was kneading it, I noticed that it doesn't have a lot of stretch to it, which is fine. It just makes it a little more challenging to knead and apparently roll out. So that'll be exciting. And then we're gonna melt our butter and brush on the dough, and then get going on that. So let's see how hard this is gonna be. It doesn't help that my cart rolls away, but it's right. Okay, it's not too bad. What's happening? Oh, what? How would I know that's what you're talking about? All right, my cameraman has informed me I can lock the wheels. It's fine, but it's such a small kitchen, I won't be able to move. All right, I see what it was saying with it. Yeah, trying to revert back. It's really interesting stuff. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Okay. Wonder why it does that. Interesting. Something about chemistry or, who knows. All right, 9 by 12. How do we know when we've hit 9 by 12, you ask? We could measure, I suppose.
All right. Making the filling in 3, 2.
All right. Filling time. So grab a medium mixing bowl where we whisk our granulated sugar. Baby whisk, because I already put the big whisk in the dishwasher. Ooh. Hands are all slippery, Abby. Okay. Granulated sugar. We've got our brown sugar. And our cinnamon. All right, so go ahead and whisk that up. Okay. Whisk that up, and then we're going to set this to the side, and we're going to roll out our dough. Abby, what are you doing? Trying to commune with the cameraman. All right, so we'll go ahead and set that aside. Okay, and so we're gonna need our rolling pin and our dough, obviously. So I'm gonna bring this back up here. Okay, rolling pin. All right, so we're gonna need a bit more flour. Oh, yeah. So we don't want it to stick on our rolling pin. All right, so we're aiming for this to be about a 9 by 12, but be patient because the dough won't want to stretch. So we'll have to strong arm it a little bit. Like sometimes when we're being stubborn and we don't want to grow, kind of the same thing. So we'll see. When I was kneading it, I noticed that it doesn't have a lot of stretch to it, which is fine. It just makes it a little more challenging to knead and apparently roll out. So that'll be exciting. And then we're gonna melt our butter and brush on the dough, and then get going on that. So let's see how hard this is gonna be. It doesn't help that my cart rolls away, but it's right. Okay, it's not too bad. What's happening? Oh, what? How would I know that's what you're talking about? All right, my cameraman has informed me I can lock the wheels. It's fine, but it's such a small kitchen, I won't be able to move. All right, I see what it was saying with it. Yeah, trying to revert back. It's really interesting stuff. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Okay. Wonder why it does that. Interesting. Something about chemistry or, who knows. All right, 9 by 12. How do we know we've hit 9 by 12, you ask? We could measure, I suppose. Oh boy, that really didn't want to do that. Ah, Jade. Could have gotten the school ruler, but that's a man's way, I guess. I don't really want to touch it because we'll just cut. Are you looking? Is it?
That's 12 right there. And
So it's
this is
good?
another 12, so you
Oh.
actually need it.
So too much. Oops. All right. Like there?
That's 12. So it depends on if you want it round or if you want it square.
I think it says square, doesn't it? Even though, because we got to plop the cookie dough in it. All right, well, I'll just get the script back and can I see the script? All right, so we've got our melted butter here and our 2 tablespoons of butter. And then we're going to brush it evenly over the dough, but leaving about a 1/2 inch border. And then we're going to sprinkle our cinnamon sugar over the top of it. So 1/2 inch border.
You can go closer.
Huh?
Yeah, about an inch.
Okay. All right. Everywhere but there, right? Okay. All right. Get the buttering. So this is just our cinnamon sugar sticks. Never actually made homemade cinnamon rolls before. I grew up in the 90s, so the best you were going to get was Christmas morning. Scary, scary cans. You smack it viciously on the counter. That was as close as we got. My goodness. I think that's good. Still more butter, but I think it's all right. Okay, so we're going to take our cinnamon sugar and sprinkle over the top. Some of the sugars really don't want to mix, and I'm confused in our climate why that's the case, but hopefully it's fine. I'll just take that out, pretend like it didn't happen. All right, I'm sure it'll taste fine. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to sprinkle it evenly, and then we're going to go back with our cookie dough. It's actually starting to look like cinnamon rolls, so that's pretty exciting. Kind of like life when you're so busy with minute things, and then you look up and realize, oh, I'm actually further ahead than I thought. Life is fickle that way sometimes. Get so caught up in the minutia. We don't see the forest through the trees. This seems like a lot of filling. We just use it for this, huh? Okay. That bird is loud. Wow. Now, you guys have to understand that we have what we lovingly refer to as 3 a.m. bird. And last year, was he with us? Yeah, okay. It sounds like 3 a.m. bird, although it's clearly not 3 a.m. But he loves to pretend like 3 a.m. is really like 2 p.m. I don't know what his problem is, or if he needs like a watch, or like what the issue is. But yeah, boy, he sings a song with people at 3 a.m. a lot. Or, you know, it doesn't have to be 3 a.m. That's just, you know, what we call them. But oftentimes it is. Boy, this is going to be interesting to roll with this much cinnamon sugar in it. I don't put this anywhere else, huh? I don't think so. It's going to be a heck of a chore to get it off of here. If I do need to put it somewhere else, I don't think so. Okay. All right, so spread out evenly, and then we're going to rescue our cookie dough, and we're going to grab 2/3 of it. It's pretty even. Thank you, floating cookie dough. All right, so we're going to take 2/3 of it and set the rest aside. So we're going to break it up into small chunks and smush it into the dough until all of the cinnamon sugar is filled. What's 2/3 of this, you may ask? Not really sure.
Probably close to a third. So yeah, set that aside.
Set this aside. Set this aside.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more.
We don't get fancy in here, okay? Okay. All right. There we go. Everything's fine. Okay. So little chunks and smush it real good. Okay. All right. And I would suggest splitting this up, you know, unless you're, you know, crazy like moi. But yeah, if you made the cookie dough first and then kept that, you know, in the fridge up to like 3 days, it would be a lot easier. And mainly, it's not, all of this isn't so bad. It's mainly the ingredients necessary. And if you weren't filming it, it would obviously not be quite so challenging, hopefully. Okay. This is going to be a little challenging, though, I have to say. Because, boy, this wants to stick itself to you and only you. All right, I'm going to keep smushing. I'll check back with you. Okay. If you got yours covering all of the cinnamon sugar, please let me know, because I don't, not sure. This is totally good enough. So we're going to take the rest of our cookie dough, we're going to roll it up into little balls, and then we're going to put it back in the fridge. And then we're going to start rolling up our cinnamon roll. And so let's get this into the fridge before it melts anymore. So these guys are the topping to our cinnamon roll. So a little bit more acidic than actual content, but that's wrong. Because this is melting fast. All right. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. All right, so we've got our serrated knife, and we're going to take this chunky baby and, starting at one end of the long side, roll into a tight 12-inch log. This way? They're all the same. All right. See how this goes. It's all very soft. I think it's not a fan of the heat, clearly, but it's going to go in the fridge and go in there for quite a while. So it'll be fine, but it is, especially if you're in a more humid climate than we are at the moment, it's, yeah, want to get this in the fridge. Okay, well, it's going pretty well, I think. Hopefully it doesn't all squeeze out the other ends. Oh boy. Chunky babies, right? Okay, And we're going to gently squeeze the end of each to keep the stuffing inside. So you like so. Very weird. And the dough is so springy. It just really wants to not do what you tell it to do. All right. Okay, keep that filling. Okay. Looking very bell bunish. All right. Okay. So each end is good, I think. So the adults and I are going to use this rated edge. And we're going to cut dough seam side down, which is what it is, and make 6 cuts. All right. Okay. Huh? Sure. 1. The more the merrier. 2. Okay. I end up with a baby one. Yeah, well, the baking time might be off. We'll see. It's like mochi dough at the moment. It's very strange. It's because it's too hot, but very weird, very squishy. Okay, well, anyway. And 2 funky ends. Okay, it's fine. So we're going to put our rolls cut side down. Well, that's not possible. Anyway, and collect any stuffing that falls out. And then we're going to cover loosely with foil. And then now we're going to do the 1.5 hour of cool your jets down time because it is very warm. Oh boy, this is going to be a challenge. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so get these babies in there. This one kind of looks like someone's, doing the hand thumb thing. Anyway. Oh boy. Uh-oh. We're going to need another pan. We just need to grab a square pan. We'll just cook them at the same time. And we're back. Let's preheat that bad boy to 350 and bake for 30 to 32 minutes. I cut mine too skinny, so we're going to have to keep a close eye on this, but essentially until they start to brown on top. You can leave the foil on or off, up to you, and we'll see you in half an hour. All right, now we've got our cinnamon rolls. Let's go ahead and let that cool for 15 minutes while we do our final step, which is making the frosting. So use your preferred mixer, but if you're using a stand mixer, use the paddle attachment. And we're going to beat the butter and cream cheese on medium-high speed until smooth. Then we're going to turn it on low and add the powdered sugar so as not to create a sugar-nado situation. So I already added the cream cheese there, so let's add the butter. And go ahead and let that mix. So we just want it creamed. We want it smooth. We want it mixed together. And then we'll add our powdered sugar. I'm just going to make sure the edges are good to go. Do one more time. Okay, that should be good to go. So on low, add the powdered sugar. And one is pretty close. All right, it's smooth, so I'm just going to add a dash. It keeps drying out on me, so we'll mix with our heart. Okay. And then put a little. That's probably good. All right, then we mix that until smooth. And then it should be cool enough that we can grab the cookie dough balls. So that's what's next. All right. I think we're good. This looks good. All right, now is that cool enough to actually put frosting on is the question. We'll just frost one just to be sure. Looks like a pizza. It's not my intention, but you know, whatever. All right, let's try this. Let's try this, and I'll frost the others later when it's a little bit cooler. Oh, the balls. Okay. Oh. It's very good. It's very cookie forward. But it is really delicious. It's very decadent, but very delicious. And it was a lot of work, but it was fun. I hope you had fun. And it was definitely adventurous, things we'd never done before. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And we'll see you next time. Hello for the future. So I just wanted to chit chat with you about the cookie dough cinnamon rolls. And I was just thinking that maybe the cinnamon roll dough is a little too bready for my taste for cinnamon rolls. The cookie dough was very good and the frosting was very good. But I think maybe the dough is a little too much on the bready side. So my suggestion, if you didn't want to follow step by step with me, would be to make the cookie dough and then make it with a different dough, or just eat the cookie dough. Like, I won't know. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell anybody. So anyway, I just thought I would let you know my thoughts. And yeah, see you later.